Welcome to Elisa's Art Room. Tonight we're going to be working some more on my Alice in Wonderland junk journal. Y'all come in and say hi. Let me know you're here. We are live on Facebook if you see the little red button at the top left. If not, you're catching a replay. I'm going to find you guys so I can see your chat. Hello, Lori. It's not there yet. There it is. All right. So we're going to be working some more on this. I've got a couple of things lined up that I think you guys will enjoy. It's getting so big. Look how fat it's getting. As usual, I underestimated the size my spine needed to be, but we'll make it work. It's going to be a bulky one. It will definitely be a gator mouth. Oh well. It's still cool, right? All right, let's see. A couple people on here. Assume the volume is okay. Looks good on my end. Assuming my mic is working, it should be fine. I almost thought I wasn't going to come on, guys. I hurt my hand. It's okay, though. It's not too bad. Sound is good. All right, I'll pull the camera up top so we can get started. Bear with my moving. Let's see if I can get this thing on here. Make sure I am straight. In the right direction. Looks good. All right. Yeah, so I go to the store after I was babysitting earlier, and I was coming back from babysitting and going to Target. Went to Target, get in the car, drive home, which is only like a mile. I live really close to Target. Get in the car, I'm driving home. I've got my car and my phone in the little holder thing, you know, the hands-free unit. And it falls out of the hands-free unit. And I instinctively, of course, you know, try to grab it. And when I did, it was like it was falling right where the gear shift is. And I just caught that gear shift with the side of my hand. And it's swollen. You can't see probably in the camera, but this whole side is swollen. And then I'm sure this is going to bruise tomorrow. I put a ton of arnica on it, so hopefully it won't bruise too bad, but it hurt so bad. I was like not a happy camper. It's better now though. It's not new. So at least I didn't break it. I'm always injuring myself, guys. I swear. Seems like it did. I think it hurt so bad because I think I hit like one of the veins and right on the bone, because there's that bone there, and there's a bump I can feel. So hopefully it's just bruised or something. But anyway, I'm able to work. I didn't have to miss the live. I can manage. So that's what's important, right? But anyway, so we're going to work in this tonight. Like I said, look how it's bulky. I got a lot of bulky things in here. I got that pop-up. It's bulky. Some tags. This page is a little bulky because it's got 2 of these in it. So I do have some bulky stuff in here. This is kind of bulky. But they're cool, and I added some stuff to that too. This one here, I threw some stuff in here. I just threw a couple little things. So I put a little fussy cut there of Alice. Let me see if I can zoom just a little bit without getting out of camera. Oh, it's too much. Maybe there. Let's try right there. So I put this little fussy cut of Alice there, and then I put a little one of the tiny LineDotArrow pockets that she had. I took the gussets off because when you get them, if you printed out her digital, if you bought it off Etsy, I think that that's off Etsy. It could be the freebie. I don't know, because I've gotten them all confused now. I've been using all of them, so some are freebies and some are off the one she sells on Etsy. So I really don't know which is which anymore. But let's see if I can. Oh, that's the rabbit stuff. This is hers. So I'm gonna show you what I mean, because some of you won't know. So when you print out the pockets, they have these little dashes for the fold lines, and if you fold them on those, when you glue it in, you get a little bit of a gusset, and that just makes the pocket able to hold more things. And I didn't really need it thicker there. I needed it thinner, so I just chopped them off. So I just cut those off and glued it on the edges. But that was one of hers. I just don't know if it's the freebie or the purchased version. But made a little pocket. These are just some Dollar Tree stickers that I grabbed. And then this is a Stamperia little tag. This is a LineDotArrow. It's just one of her little, I don't know what, I guess they're supposed to be tickets. I printed one of those out and just backed it on something. And then just one of these are LineDotArrows. Another little tag. So I just threw those in there. I thought that'd be cute just to throw in that pocket. So it's not empty. But of course, you know, the more things you add, the more it bulks out. I personally don't mind. Some people really don't like it if it gets too gator mouthed, but I personally don't care. Really. I try not to, more for other people than for me. A little bow. Anyway, so there's that. Let's see what else we got in here that we've done so far. We've done a lot. So first page, I printed a page. I don't know if I showed you. Put it on avocado paper. This is one of mine that I made with an image from the book from Library of Commerce. So I stuck that there. And then we've got this pocket one. This is a Stamperia design. It's pretty much, I think that one's pretty much all Stamperia. And then that tag we did last time. I think I'm gonna put a hole in here and put a little thing on it. I can do that real quick in a minute. I've got two of these. And then we've got this with this, it has the tracing paper that was avocado dyed. And then these are also avocado dyed tracing papers. So that's what's in there, a little pocket. It's a little bit flimsy, so you kind of have to fuss with it a bit. And just a piece of paper that was a note paper. I probably got it from Dollar Tree. I really don't know for sure. Stuck that on there. Stuck one of those little hearts on there. It's just got double-sided. And that's our middle page, which is fabric. It's a printed fabric. This is LineDotArrow's design. Our little booklet that we did. This was a little zine. And my slidey belly band sort of thingy. I think I like it. I'm not sure. It doesn't quite stay where I want it to stay. It only slides like a half an inch or an inch, and then an inch down here, and the middle's glued. And it's a little tricky to move, but you can move it. You have to just kind of hold it. Not sure how I feel about the overall design of it, because it's kind of fussy to move. I thought I would be able to get my fingers in there and move it, but it's hard to do. So our little zine. It's got pockets. I'm kind of showing because I know some of you are new, and I don't want you to, you've missed a lot probably. And there's a pocket, and there's one more pocket. Where is it? There it is. That little pocket. So that's our little zine. And the zine is just a little booklet. One of my things, if you push this tag in too far, it doesn't fold right. So if it doesn't fold right, that's because that's in too far, because I made it to stick out a little bit. So I've been putting this down here just to kind of hold it together. And I just added this little Tim Holtz paper clip to help keep it in place on here. I'm just attaching it to the ribbon. Try to get her head to not be hidden. Think about there. So there's that one. Don't have anything. Postcard with some writing space. A little door opens up and Alice is in there. It's our smaller version and a larger version. And we're going to work on this bunny rabbit soon. I got to finish it. And this is our pop-up, which will be glued to this page. I'm just not doing it until after I sew it in. This is an envelope that I'm going to do something with. That's one of the reasons it's getting bulky too. This we glued in last week. This is that little one-page multi-pocket, I don't know, multi-pocket thing. I don't know what to call it. Got some things in there. I don't know if it has a name. Some more paper, a belly band. This is the other one that needs glued on that we did last week. I was waiting for it to dry. It's dry now. Not last week, but Wednesday. And this is our little Alice one. This is a envelope. Opens up, put stuff in it. It's embossed and like a postcard kind of thing. More tracing paper. And this is the other thing. I get that clip off. It's just a little bit different. This one has that. And it has this one. Okay. And that's the other side of the envelope that I have in there. Some more paper I did. This is the one with Alice's, I don't know if it's supposed to be her mom or her big sister. I'm not sure. It's avocado dyed paper. I've been saying it's her mom, but for some reason I'm not 100% sure if it was her mom. All right, and then this we'll work on at some point. This is just a sticker book I had for forever. All right, so there we go. That's where we're at. So we are going to create a couple of things. I'm going to glue that pocket in, but before I forget, I think it's in this one, right? Yep, there it is. Glue that in. And then we're going to make a little, one of these guys, a little twisty thingy. So I'm going to try to do that with some of the LineDotArrow freebie ones. She has this freebie one that you get from joining her Facebook group, and she does freebies on there, and you can print them out, use them for your own use, I guess. I'm not sure what the deal is. I'm sure it's your own. But some of these are those freebies. I feel like these tags were, and I know these were, I'm not sure what else without looking at the actual download, which I'm not going to do right this second. So, but I know 100% that the circles are the freebies from her group. So you have to join our group to get it, and I have instructions. at the bottom of my post for at least the last 3 posts, I think, that we've been doing on this journal on how you can go join her group. So what I did for that is I printed it larger. It prints out this size, which I believe is the 2-inch punch. It might be the 1.5. Let me see. I'll find it. The 2, I think. No, that's 1.5. I feel like this is how it printed out. I don't know if I made it smaller or not. So it must be, yeah, it must be the 1.5. Yeah, 1.5. So I feel like that's the size it normally prints out. So this is like about, I'd say 150%. I just make it bigger until it gets to the size I want, because I don't have a percentage thing on my printer. And you know, some went off the page, but I didn't care. I only need a few of them. So that's what I did there. We'll be using those tonight. All right, let's glue this in before I forget what I'm doing, and then we'll put holes in these, I think. It's going to cover the label, but that's okay. So, glue our little crackle finish one we did. This is just a cracker box. I'm just going to glue the sides and the bottom. If you hold the side you don't want to glue, you'll be less likely to make a mistake. So watch your fold for your center, that you are far enough away from it so that when you sew in your signatures it doesn't get in the way. I am a good 1/4 of an inch away from that. Hey Dawn. It's got that thread on there, so it takes a little bit more to get it to stick. Sewed it. We'll come back to it before I throw this in there so it can have some time. All right, I need to figure out where I'm going to put these circle things. I think maybe just on one of these plainer pages. So I was going to do T stuff there. Either there or the other T page. I have 2 T pages. Where's the other one? Oh, I already pulled it out. That's why I can't find it. Okay, I think it's in here. There. Oh, this one's the fabric one. So the other one. I don't want to do anything to this. It's just, it's too nice to touch and feel, and I'm honestly not going to do a thing to it. I thought about it and I was like, you know what? No. It's just going to be one of those little things that's a, you know, tactile thing for the journal. Sometimes I like that. That's the T page I was thinking of. So we're going to put some tea stuff there. I don't have any tea. I don't think. I only have like one. I have a teapot. Yeah, I don't have a lot of tea things for that. So I'll do something else there. So probably the best page to put this on is going to be just this plain one. Because the images that I have in the circles are just kind of random. I could possibly decorate this. I'm debating on how I'm going to attach it. I'm thinking I'm just going to clip it. I might go put it there. I don't know. Let's see. Let's work on this real quick first, because this isn't easy. If I can get that to stay. Stay. I'm going to zoom back out in case you guys probably couldn't see, because I keep getting out of camera when I zoom in. Sorry. I apologize if I did. I don't know. I try not to, but sometimes. All right, so let's get our crocodile and maybe an eyelet. I think an eyelet. Where's that other one? I have 2 of these. I'm just going to grab it out of this holder. You know, I'm going to throw something in there. Here, let's throw this in there. Just, I don't lose my page. Okay, so we're just going to put some holes on these so that they've got, you know, something at the top just because. And I've got some ribbons floating around here. Hopefully I can find one that will work. Something maybe from this pile. All right, so I think the larger one is probably best. Color. Oh, there go the fireworks again. It's liable to get loud. We had fireworks last night until they started around 9, about 8:30, and they kept going until 11. I was like, okay guys, my cat can only handle so much. That's enough. They did not want to stop. I just don't even know where people get the budget. It's like, oh my goodness, they're so expensive. Maybe this color better. And these are almost, they're like an antique black, and then these are more like an antique bronze. Don't ask me where I got them. Probably Hobby Lobby. I don't know. Although this says Sewology, so I think that's a Hobby Lobby thing. Yeah, I got them from Hobby Lobby. Alrighty. So, let's see. You think you can find the center? I'm just gonna kind of use my grid. I know I have a white one here somewhere. There it is. It's getting tinier and tinier. So do I want it below that? What's on the other side? Just lines, okay. I think either way it's going to cover it. I'll do it a little bit below. It says a caucus race because that was the part of the chapter that's from. Try not to cover the whole thing. I have no idea of which is going to be front. I think I'm going to have the line parts considered the back. Let's see if I can figure this one out. Oh. I'm trying to just use this for a middle. Maybe about there. Gosh, I can't see that one. Too brown. Okay. And we're going to punch our holes. I should have turned my fan on. I'm melting already. Oh, I must have this set really... Oh no, it's just me. I thought I had set it like really shallow, but it didn't. It's just me. Just catching on something. Get out of there. Really? They never just fall out like they're supposed to. Yeah, sometimes they do. Alright, put these in there. So I might consider this the front, so we'll put them this way. And let's see, am I on the right setting? Which is A1? Yep. So A and then 1 is what I use. Different people like different settings. I don't know. That's just what I've been using and I like it. I think you have to kind of just figure out what works for you. Not too bad. Trying to run away on me. Hey, Cindy. Okay. Those in. And let's pick a ribbon. What do we got? This one is an avocado dyed. I think that'll be good for that one. White might be too much. What's on one of these is white on the back. This one. Yeah. Well, I think we'll use the avocado dyed on that one. Not sure how long I need to be, so I'm just gonna stick some in there. I think I only need to be about a third of this, so I'll trim it after so I don't waste as much. I don't want it to stick up really super far. Is it getting smaller? I can't tell. No idea what's going on there. All messed up. I think I'm not grabbing both pieces or something. There it is. All right. It's almost too thick. Too wide. I'm trying to get the... There. Yeah, close enough. Maybe I'll trim it. Turn the fan on, guys. Let me see how much it sticks up. Is this this page? I think this is this page. Oh my goodness, it's falling apart. I know it's going to stick up, but if I can... I don't really care if it sticks up above the book that much. Sometimes it looks cute, but I don't know if I want it quite that far. Might be a little extreme. I'll fuzz it back out in a second. Save that, I'll use it somewhere. So, everything's just falling, guys. My doily's gonna get all messed up. All right, doily, get up there before I bend you all up. All right. So, I just use one of these guys. Fray it back out. Okay, that one can go there. And it'll stick out a little, but I don't care. We're just going to let it stick out, I think. The pages are not cooperating. I think this one was in the front, right? Okay, what color shall I use? I feel like it needs... Do I have these backwards? I do, don't I? I do have them backwards. I was going to do this pink one with this page because it looks better. That's what I was doing. Okay, this one goes on the other page. So this one, I think we can just use, we could still use that. Or I could use maybe a piece that's not got enough. It's a little too, I thought I could trim it here, but I'm not sure if it's going to just fall apart when you try to trim them like that. Sometimes they don't. I've got some coffee dyed ones. Let me find them. Let's see. Where is my ribbon pile? Oh, you're here somewhere in a tin, right? I think it's in a tin. Fabric ruffles, small bits. Maybe. little bit darker. What do we got here? I think I can make, that might not be long enough. I know I have more. I have a billion pieces of this stuff, but it's figuring out where I stuck it. That one might be long enough. I don't know. Let me look. Let's see if I have more. This is mostly ruffles that I'd sewed for putting on the edges of pages. This is lace. Any lace that's thin enough? Have some leather. This leather might be fun. I have orange leather. And I have a yellow leather and a red leather. They're very long. Also have that. I think I like the leather. Something a little bit different. I think the best color is maybe the orange. Orange isn't bad. Let's just use a little piece of this. If I can find my scissors again. Where I did, I buried them underneath. I don't like these little scissors. They were a free gift with something, but I'm not crazy about them. All right, let's throw this back. All right, down you go. Here you go over there. Let's use this. Don't think it needs glued. Sometimes things will come out, but I think it'll be all right. It's also going to stick up, but it is what it is. All right, so I want to make that circle thing. I don't know where I'm going to put it. I don't think the color of it's going to look good there, so probably not. Possibly put it here. What else do I have? Same thing over here. I could put something there. Some sort of a picture in there. I don't know what yet. Might just be a book page that looks right in the hole. That doesn't have to be tea stuff. Maybe. Just debating where I want to stick it. I could even put it, I've got these circles over here. I just don't know if I like it on the avocado dyed. I'm just going to clip it, like once it's made, then I'm just going to clip it to the page, so it could possibly go there. It might be a good spot. Honestly, it can go anywhere because it is just going to be a clip-in. All right, let's just make it and then we'll figure that out later. Right. Okay, you stay there. So I went ahead and punched one, and this is when I'm going to do the white rabbit, which I got to figure out what I'm going to do. I was thinking I might try to do a belly band with the pocket watches. I just don't know for sure. So this is just a really simple thing to do. It's not super complicated. You just need cardstock, somewhat heavier weight. This is 65 pound. I'm going to double it up because in my prototype, I did not, I'm trying to find my prototype, guys. In my prototype, I did not put a back on it because I want to see how I did it. But I do want to cover the brads up. Right here, they just have masking tape on them on this. So you have to kind of think about how you're going to do that. In essence, if I want to put the brad on and cover this piece, you have to think about at what point I have to do that, because this piece will be in the way of covering this piece. So it can't be together to that point. I can cover this one because that one only gets the hole through in the brad. And then this one, I think, second, after I put this brad in, I think I can cover this one and then put this brad in after this one's covered and put this one. That's what I think. That way they don't show, since it's going to be a pull-out thing. So I saw this on the Paper Outpost. That's why it says that. I tend to write on my little things where I saw them at. The Paper Outpost is Pam. She is a very talented lady that I've been watching for years. So check her out. I will link her page. I'll link her tutorial. I don't know if she saw it somewhere else. It's very possible. I really don't know. But we're going to punch a couple of these out. So I've got this one. I think I like that one. And then maybe I want the Mad Hatter. I haven't done a whole lot of Mad Hatter in this. Let's see if I can get this. Why is that one bigger? Oh, I've got the wrong one. I'm like, that is not the right size. There it is. 2.5 is what I've got these two. You go 3 if you make your punches bigger. Your little circles. But this is the punch I have, so I could use my die cuts, but I'm not gonna. And then I think I want to use, I think maybe the teapot. Teapot's pretty cool, right? My big scissors. And then I'm gonna back them with these. Teapot. And guys, a hint, when you're trying to figure out how much a percentage you need to make these bigger, print your little test just on draft. And that's the easiest way that I find to do it, is just print it on draft. That way you don't waste a bunch of ink if you get the wrong size. And then once you figure it out, then print it on your cardstock regular. So you don't waste ink. All right, so how many we got? We got 3, and then we need these guys. I think I've got it over far enough. I'm not sure on that one. It was close. Just barely. Like I said, I just enlarged it and hoped for the best. Whatever percentage this is, it just does fit the circle. All right, so there's that. Now, you don't have to have these circles to do this with. You can use anything. You know, you could use something like this, and it'll just be whatever part you line it up to. Okay, so you don't have to have a circle image. In some ways it's easier if you don't, but I like these little circle ones, so we're using them. Okay, so these are my backs. These are my fronts, and then I have to decide where I want them to be. Now I'm going to have to put a hole somewhere, so this teapot's got that right at the top there, so I don't really want to put a hole there. So I don't think I want it here because it will hit there. So I think this should go here. That way the hole is being put at the bottom of it. The Mad Hatter has got plenty of room on both sides, and this one's got plenty of room on both sides. So do I want Alice in the middle or the Mad Hatter in the middle? I think so that's my plan. These don't matter, whatever, you know, we'll do it a mixture. So that's the layout. So like I said, we have to do, first I'm going to do the end that only has the hole. Okay. So the end that only has the hole on the bottom and it doesn't have a brad. Let me think about this again. Does it matter? Okay, because I want to cover this first. Yeah, I think this one's I'm going to do last. I'm just going to put numbers on here, guys. We'll say 3. We'll say 1 and 2. That's what I think. It doesn't really matter as far as your design. They're going to twist and turn, and it just is what it is. I think it works best if you just have them all straight when they're in this position. So you want to try to get your holes in the middle, ideally. It's not a huge deal, but it will look a little neater if you can. So I'm just going to line these up with my little grid here. And it may or may not be absolutely perfect. I do want them to come together, so before I put that hole I'll have to line them up and make sure that that lines up. But I want to get a rough idea of where I want the holes. So I'm just going to mark just kind of a rough spot. Trying to get this centered. At least that way I'll know. The teapot I've got kind of a center. But what shall I use? Pencil or chalk? I think I'll use pencil this time. Let's see, what is this one? Extra smooth? Sure. Alright, so this gets a hole somewhere here. I'm just going to put a little X. It doesn't have to be exact. I'll put a circle when I know exactly. I'll put an X first. This one will get one here and here, and then this one will get one here. Maybe not that high, maybe somewhere about there. And then you think about what's going to be covered first. Okay, so we're going to cover this one front and back. So this one I'm going to cover front and back first. So I'm going to glue this on here. I'm going to try to make sure that my clubs are the right direction too. I'm going to scooch this up just a little bit. So let's glue this on. I'm just going to use art glitter because the brad on this one does not go on this bottom piece. It goes through to this. I think I'm doing this right, guys. I haven't tried to cover one yet, so I really don't know for sure. I think it'll work if I am logically figuring it out. Hopefully. So this way, I'm just going to try to catch a side. Glue that down. Okay, so once it's glued, I'm going to put this hole, and then I'm going to line this hole up to the middle one. So let's go ahead and put the hole. What size hole did I put on these? That is a good question. They look small, don't they? I'm pretty sure I used the small one. Yeah. Alright, so that is the, if I can read it, the 1/8 size. So we're going to do the 1/8 size on this. And come in just a little bit. It's pretty close to the edge, so I don't really know. I don't know how you formulate it, if it's just kind of close to the edge. So we're just going to go as close as I feel like I can comfortably get. It's a little bit wet still, but okay, that worked. So this one will attach to the bottom of this one, and it has to be in the right spot. It does not attach to that one. Okay, so it's going to go there, but what I have to do is spin it around, line it up, and that's where it goes. Okay. If this doesn't turn out right, I don't know what I was thinking. I'm trying to find the hole. I'm just going to go through both of them because it's probably the easiest way to hopefully get them lined up. It's hard to see. Okay. So now that matches that, and it's going to have a back, but we'll figure that out in a minute. So before I put the back on this one, I have to attach this one because I want to hide the brad. That's the trick. I'm trying to hide the brad. Okay, so let's get our little brads. These are my smaller brads. Let's see where I can find some. Color-wise, doesn't really matter. I just do this antique color. I think 3, right? Okay, so we're going to put our brad through our first one. And then we're going to put it through this one. It does not have a back on it yet. Okay. And close it down. It looks too long. I don't know. We'll see if it's too long or not. I don't think I cut the tails. Don't make it, so tight you can't move it. So make sure you can still move it. And then get your tails to where you can cover them up, hopefully. I think they'll work if I do it there. So this side, I can go ahead and cover before I put number 3 on. I think I'm thinking this right. So we're going to cover this, and then the hole has to go right there. That's going to be the trickiest part, is getting that hole in the right spot. I'm just going to try to mark it. I think I can do it. I'm just kind of peeking under. Hopefully it works. I really wanted to cover the brads. I don't think the one I watched, I don't think she did it. But I thought it would be cool if I could. So that looks like it's in maybe a 1/16. So we're going to try to go the same amount. So hard to see. Right, I think I got it. It looks pretty darn close. Oh, I didn't need the hole. What was I thinking? I did not need the hole in there. We're just going to leave it. I guess I could... I don't have enough. You don't need the hole. I suppose I could turn it around. It would be upside down. because I will need a hole for that side. I didn't need a hole for this side. That's okay. We'll just cover it up. It's not a big deal. I don't know. Should I turn it and just have it upside down? I wasn't thinking that through. Because this one, it goes through that and it goes through that. But this is glued on first. Yes. Okay, so you need a hole on this side. You don't need a hole on this side. I'm just going to glue it on upside down. It's fine. It doesn't have to be that direction. And then I'm just going to punch these two together before I glue this, I think. I could punch it after. I'll punch it after. So we're going to glue this on here. Try to cover up this brad. I think I'm getting this right. I'm making what's a really easy project difficult because I'm trying to cover the brads. I probably should put masking tape on there too, but I didn't. It'll hold, maybe. Maybe it'll hold. I don't know. You think it's going to hold? I don't think it's going to hold. We're going to put masking tape. I'm not 100% sure that that little brad is going to stay. It's so close to the edge there. I'm just going to put a little bit of masking tape on it. See if I can get it to stay and not spin. I don't want it to spin, ideally. All right, so the hole's on the other side. I'm just going to guess, I guess. I don't know what else to do, because I don't think I can match that. Think I can match it? I could get close. That's pretty close. All right, so this gets glued. Try to get this to stay together there. It's a cute little thing. I like it. It's just a little tricky figuring out what to glue, what not to glue, and all that. All right, so now we're at number 2, which needs a hole for this brad to go through. So let's finish that hole. I've got that mark there. And it looks pretty close. So I think I'm just going to do it from this side so I don't have 2 holes. It's pretty close. All right, and then for 3, so this is the back. This is the back. For 3, this will go here with the hole at the bottom, and the brad will go through this piece first, and then this backing will go on with no hole. Don't let me put a hole there. I thought I needed 3. I only need 2 brads. I don't know what I was thinking. All right, so there's that. See if it lines up. Yeah, it lines up pretty good. All right, and then this one goes where that hole is. Right? Yeah. So I'm just going to go where I put that X. It looks pretty darn close. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to try to spin it. I'll spin it around because I want the circles to match. So I'm going to look for that little cross from the X and try to get it right where that is, or really close to it. Okay, so I don't know if you can tell what I'm doing. So I'm trying to line up my little crosshairs inside the circle, because this is the important part, that they match on the edge. And then we're going to put a hole in this one. Where'd my thing go? Okay, I'm just going to use that hole. I wish I'd gone a little bit further away from the edge, but I think I'm okay. By the time I get 2 layers on there, it should be okay. All right, so that's going to go there. And then it turns. So we want our brad to go through this hole, through this one first, and then this one, right? Let me look at the front. I think that's right. Yep. Okay. And then we'll close that. Whoops. Dropping them all off. Oh, I can't pick it up. All right. This goes here. This goes here. Then we're going to open that up. Try to make sure that the little tails go off to the side. Not so tight I can't spin it. Okay. Now we want to just cover that up. I'll put a little bit of masking tape on it, just to hold it a teeny bit better. Make sure I didn't get on the edge there. I should have inked them first, but I don't really care if it's inked. It's not a big deal. All right, so now we're going to cover this back up, and we'll just, I did that one up and this one's upside down, so I'll just do this one the right way. Okay, so we're going to line this up. So I'm mostly concerned the circles match. Get that glue on that edge. Make sure I haven't glued it together. That way, now my brads are hidden, okay? And you don't see them. I think it just looks, you know, neater. Okay, there we go. That is good. Let me put this little guy back before I lose it. Where is it? There it is. If I can start it evenly. These are so tricky sometimes. Oops. To get the threads to line up. Okay. So there. So that's how you make that. And then it just folds up and it becomes one piece. Isn't that cute? I think they're fun. I might ink it a little, sticking them together, but I always forget. We'll ink it a little. It's not a huge deal. If you remember, ink them before you put the brad together. It's tricky because we're doing two sides to remember. But you can almost get to every edge. Time you move them all around, it's not too bad actually. Yeah, that's not too bad. Even if you ink it after, it's not that bad to get in there. You might miss the very, very, very tip of top, but not so much that it matters. I think it's a fun little piece. Something interactive, you know? The more interactive stuff, the funner your journal is. go. I think I got all the sides. So there is that. It wasn't too bad. I didn't even get my jar with water and my, I didn't get my little container. I usually keep a wet microfiber and everything. I was way off tonight. I was very distracted because we have a bunny nest in the backyard right now. One of the wild bunnies decided my yard looked like a nice place to deliver her bunnies. So, and she literally put it right in the middle of my yard. So, and I thought it was a dead patch. I went out there the other day and I know that bunny patches can be like that, but honestly, I wasn't even thinking about it because it's a groomed yard. You always thought that they only did it like in non-groomed yards, like yards that had been left to grow. But no, they'll do it anywhere. And our yard is fenced in too, but it has some holes in the fence. So she came in, she had the babies, and it's a dead patch about yay big, and it's got what I thought was dead grass. You know, it looks like dead grass. And so, I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I should reseed this or something. So I start moving stuff around, and I'm like, oh, wait, there's fuzz. There is totally fur tufts in here. I'm like, oh, no, tell me that's not babies. And so I went and grabbed a pair of gloves and put my gloves on and lifted up the straw, and I'm looking, and sure enough, 4 little baby bunnies under there. Tiny, like maybe that big. They'd fit like right there. They were so tiny. So I like real carefully just covered them back up, and I was like, more things for me to worry about in my backyard. The kittens finally went away. We had the kittens that one of the neighborhood cats had kittens in my yard. And they've gone off. I don't know where they are. So now we have bunnies. So I'm like trying to get ready for my live, and I'm looking out the window, and I see the neighborhood tomcat, and he is headed for that nest. And I'm like about to have a heart attack, guys. I am losing it. And I'm like, don't you dare eat those babies. So I run down the stairs, run outside, and chase him off. And he was oblivious to it. He walked like, here's the nest. He like walks just right by. Didn't even know they were there. But I was freaking out. And so I chased him off. So hopefully he won't come back and bother them. Hopefully. I hate to even think about it because it freaks me out. But anyway. There's a little project. Isn't that cute? It's cute. Where can we put this? They do know I'm an animal lover, I swear. I think you're right, Dawn. They all come to my yard. If it's not, at first it was possums. You know, we always have the birds, but then it's possums and it's cats and it's baby bunnies. And then we had baby snakes. We had baby snakes under the bird feeder. I went to feed the birds, refill it, and lift it up. And I'm like, oh, there's a whole bunch of little baby snakes under there. Lovely. So, covered them back up. I'm like, all right, y'all hatch, grow big and go away, which they did. It didn't seem to take long. But they were just little, I think Georgia water snakes or something. I don't know, Georgia brown water snake. I don't know, some sort of harmless snake. I'm not really scared of snakes. I used to catch them when I was young because I was always fascinated. But I'm trying to figure out. I saw a page, right? Not there. I think I want to do it on that one page. It's kind of bare. Not there. It does look similar though. Must be on the other side. Dang. Oh, this one. I think this is a good spot for this. We're just going to stick it up here with one of my pretty gold clips. And that can just go like that. And of course it's, more bulk. What? I so much bulk. So I want to do something with this. Let's just go ahead and do this sticker book to get it out of the way. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do this. So this sticker book, it's just an old sticker book I had. I say old, it's probably from the 90s, if I had to guess. But it was still in relatively good shape. So it's just one of those ones you buy for the kids that they can stick the stickers on and remove them and stick them again and that kind of a thing. So I was only missing one sticker on it. They were never used, missing Father William. But what I'm going to do, and I assume these stickers are still sticky and everything. Yeah, they still got some stick to them. So I think what I'm going to do is glue half of this like this, and it'll be a flip out. I just don't know which page I want it on. I don't think I want that page. I want this page. So I think I will glue it here. I was going to glue it on the other side, but I think I'll glue it on this side. Yeah. And then I'm going to use this to put the stickers in. I mean, I guess that's all right. I'll just decorate this side. I was hoping the clear part would show on the opposite page. But if I put this here, then I lose the part I want to still show. So, unless I have it flipped this way, and I don't want it to flip that way. I want it to flip out. All right. I think this is the only spot I can stick this to. I tried to see if I could put this in different places because of the way it is made. I'm trying to see, could I put it, if I put it here, maybe. No, it still does the same thing. It's still opposite. It doesn't really change anything. Okay, yeah, that doesn't change anything. All right, we're just going to do it like this. And the stickers will be just there. That's fine. It is fine. Thick as that. It's avocado dyed. It's not super thick, but I think it'll be all right. So we're going to decorate this a little bit. At least this side. The other side I'll decorate however I'm doing the other page. So I'm just going to see where that's heading. I think just about to there. About the halfway mark. I think you can see my I'll just put it very light. Maybe. I'm just going to put a light mark so I know where I need to decorate to. And this will be hidden inside the signature somewhere. Okay, so we're going to put this here. This is going to go here. And hopefully I think I might have to use double stick tape, guys. It's very shiny. It's made so stickers don't stick to it, so you know glue's going to have issues too. I think I'll use double stick tape. The question is, do I want any kind of a pocket or anything? I could make a tuck. I could totally have a tuck. If I put double stick tape there and there. Of course, you know the last thing I need is another spot. Something for more bulk, but oh well. I'm going to do it as a tuck. Where is my double stick tape? Do I want to do anything with this page first? It's plain, but the color's fine. The color matches nicely. Let me see. I have mushrooms and things. I don't have any sky. Well, I take that back. I actually do have sky, but not the right kind. right, let's see. Mushrooms are in here, I think. And I could possibly use a stencil on that page just to kind of, you know, it's a little boring. We might throw some of these mushrooms on the bottom or something. There's a mushroom. Kind of matches. It's got a little snail playing a guitar. Let's see. I could put some down here that are smaller. These are too big. Too big, too big, too big. It is cute though. I have another thing with mushrooms. This isn't the one I was thinking of. This is just random. Don't even ask me. 49 Market, Paper Studio, Tim Holtz, and random. I don't know where all those came from. Where are the mushrooms, guys? Do y'all remember? Is it Stamperia? Or is it something else? It's not there. It must be Stamperia. Or maybe it's, is it Prima? I'm going to find them. Oh, there's some. Prima has some. Any more in there? No. All kinds of little things. There's like little leaves and stuff, which we might just stick randomly. But I have more mushrooms in this. This isn't all the mushrooms. I don't know where they've ran off to. What's in there? More leaves. That's all right. Leaves will look cool. I'm going to pull some of these leaves out. They're very tiny. All right. You go up there. Probably use some of you. I got one mushroom. I may have used them. I don't think I did, though. There's a mushroom and a butterfly, and more leaves. I feel like there was more mushrooms somewhere. Let's take that chest piece before I lose it. Oh, what's this? A cake. Don't lose the cake either. I never did turn that fan on, guys. I'm feeling it. Okay, and then we have, oh, I can use this blue. Oh, we got it down the rabbit hole. We're all mad here. Stay curious, always dream. Maybe one of those. We're gonna set that there. I think I like the blue. There's a lot of blue in this. All right. I'm not sure which size though. We'll put them both there. Probably out of camera, but that's okay. You don't need to see it yet. I'm at a loss as to where the mushrooms were. Maybe I used them. I'm not seeing them in any of these pouches. I think this is the last one. I'm missing the Prima one. It's floating around. Was that it? Was that Prima? Maybe. Let me look. I don't know. I thought it was in a square, long square thing. I think it is. I think I don't have it. All right, I'm just going to see if there's any mushrooms in here real quick. Don't think there are. More flowers. Kitty cat. Hearts. I do have this label. What does this label say? tea time. Every adventure requires a first step. Maybe. We'll stick that one there. And then just Wonderland, which it already says Wonderland. Okay. I know there's the Prima box, and I don't think that was it. It's the one with the little different pictures that are more modern. It's floating around here somewhere. It's in a square container. I just gotta figure out where I stuck the square container. Where'd you put it, girl? Must be all the way over here. There it is. I found it. That one. There's the mushrooms. I knew I had mushrooms. There they are. It's a room. I could just put them over. Maybe I will. So there's that one. Do I have any smaller? Let's see. What time is it? Okay. Leaves, flowers, a couple of butterflies. I'm just putting some random things up there that might work for this page. I apologize if that's out of camera. I'll pull it down in a second. It's the same. Yeah, they're all the same. There's just doubles. Don't think any of them are shorter. Nope, not shorter. Although I could cut it. Might. Flowers, teapot, rabbit, more leaves. I think we're going to use this Prima set. Okay. This is by Prima. The Three Girls Tale, Lost in Wonderland. If anyone needs a number, I got it at, where did I get that? I think scrapbook.com, but I'm not. I think scrapbook.com. I think. I'm not 100% sure. This was the Stamperia one that I had out, and now I gotta figure out where it goes. It's the sticker one. It shouldn't be that hard to figure out. It goes in the stickers. Okay. Here we go. So, I just want to decorate the page a little bit on the background, I think. I could just distress it a little, I guess. What do you think? Just distress it, or should I put a stencil? Let me look at some of my random stencils here. What do we got? Stars, butterflies, swirlies. That's a little flowers. Flowers. Kind of bubbles. It's like a mesh kind of thing. What else? Kind of just some distressing. Or some cracks. I'm not sure. Maybe the cracks. I think the flowers are too big. Let me grab a piece of paper. I should have some scrap. to scrap. I just want to see what it looks like before I put it on there. So probably just a brown. We'll use maybe frayed burlap. I'm just looking at maybe this tree color. It looks like a frayed burlap to me. Where is it? Maybe. Maybe. I think walnut would be really dark. Let's see what this looks like. So if I do cracks, it's very dark. But it's pretty close to that tree color. Maybe. I think cracks or the cracks aren't fine enough. The bubbles I think would be too much. I don't know if this is too much. I don't think it's too much. I think it needs something. We're going to throw stuff on top of it anyway. Let's just do that. Let's just do this mesh stuff. Just a little bit. I might need to take this out though. I'm just going to pull this last 2 pages out. See if I can do this. Hopefully. All right. This page. Try not to get it on everything. Almost fits. I'm only going to do it just a kind of light, not super dark. I just don't want it quite so plain. Just a little bit there. Where else does it show? This side. There. A little bit there. Okay. That should be all right. Let's try that. Where's my lid? Glue this here. Move this aside. Move this aside. Alright, I'm going to use my double stick tape. I just don't think that, do I want to have a tuck? I think I'm far enough. I'm trying to debate if I need to put any more for a tuck. I don't think I do. So this side and this side if I'm going to do a tuck. So hold it here. So I want on that side and that side. Alright. So double stick tape. If I can get it all the way to the end. Obviously don't want the place where it folds. And then this side. Where's my... Close. Alright. And pointy tool, where are you hiding? There you are. Okay. I do it kind of in the middle so I can put some mushrooms and things. I think. Yeah, I think so. And just, it's a place for just maybe a picture or writing paper. It's not going to be a huge tuck spot, but it'll be something. Every adventure requires a first step. Perhaps. Got to come down a little bit more, but I think I can fit it. Let me see. Might trim it just a fraction. Yeah, I'll trim it just a fraction. I can do a halfway decent job of trimming it. Just coming up to the second row of hearts there. Okay. On there. Try to see if I can see the center. All right, and then maybe a butterfly or something on each side. How big is this butterfly? I need my tweezers. Will fit. It's a little big. I had some other butterflies. I have this one. Did I have any smaller ones? Well, I know I'd probably do in my Tim Holtz stuff. We'll look and see. If not, I could just use maybe a leaf. That's not bad. Might do a leaf there. I've got these other shiny leaves too, and I can't quite see all this. So I'm thinking one of these on the bottom. I don't really care if the bigger mushroom is in the picture. It's not a big deal. It just gives it a little something. That's kind of cool. I think I like that there. I'm just going to glue. I don't think I'll glue that part of it. So just the part where the paper is hitting. Could possibly tuck something in there. Not much, but a little. There. That'll work. And then I like this here, I think. I don't think my ingot, I'll just mess it up. I don't think that's not a sticker. I had to think for a minute, is that a sticker? No, some of these are. I could find a smaller butterfly. Let me see if that, what was that? That was, what was that? No, that's stickers. Prima. Did you guys see any smaller butterflies? I don't remember. There's a pink one, but it's pretty big too. I mean, I could just go over the blue, I guess. Possibly. Or I just put more leaves. Got lots of leaves. I'll put some leaves down this edge, I think. I might go under. I had this little brown one, but it's kind of tiny. That's one of the stickers, but it's really small. It's too small. Let's see. Any more leaves or anything? Not those flowers. Those are too much. Okay. I think. Alright. Let's just throw a couple leaves, maybe. Debating if I want the leaves there. Kind of makes sense with the tree, right? These are so small. I like them, but they're just so small. It's going to take me forever to peel every one of those. I could continue that on over with that. I don't think it'll affect tucking anything in there. I don't think it's going to get too much in the signature. That's the only thing. I'll just overlap it. I don't want to go too close to my signature edge. So I'll just overlap it on the other one. This is a cardstock, but it's not a super thick cardstock. This little Prima set. It's kind of like the 49 and Market ones, as far as how it feels, if you guys have ever bought those. The little laser 49 Market set. So still some room to tuck. I went ahead and glued that because it was popping up a little too much, I think. Alright, so we glued that. I think we'll put this one right next to it. Probably should grab my tweezers because I'm going to drop it. Trying to help it blend in a little bit more, you know. All right, maybe so the blue or the pink. I've got the blue one. I could just stick it underneath, or I could put the pink one. Same thing. Just stick it underneath. So I don't know that I'll find a smaller one. Do you think blue or pink? Do y'all care? Can y'all even see that? It's so tiny. Zoom in just a little bit. Just for a minute. So that's the pink one. It's going to go under the skyline. And then this is the blue one. Maybe the blue. Originally I thought the pink, but kind of looking at it on the camera, the blue kind of looks better. I don't know if anybody's going to respond. Sometimes y'all are asleep by this point. Okay, we'll just do the blue one. It'll be fine. It'll be just fine. I don't think I'm going to ink it. I'm just going to leave the white edge. Sometimes if you ink these ones that have the white edges and are so small, it gets too dirty looking. I'm holding the wrong side. Alright, I'm just going to stick that right there. Alright, and then I'll find a piece of paper or something, but something can go in there. Doesn't have to, but it is a good little hiding spot to tuck something. You know, maybe a secret note or something. All right, so this has to be covered so that it can hold our little stickers. So that's just going to go like that. I don't think it needs anything. I do have Velcro dots somewhere. I say that somewhere. Let's see if I can find them. Is it necessary? Not really, but it would stay down better. We'll think about that. I could put a Velcro dot there. They are kind of big. I don't have smaller ones. I need smaller ones. Need smaller Velcro dots. Okay, so we're going to cover this with something. Something that will look decent with this. What we got? Doesn't particularly match. What else do we got? Let's see. I mean, it could even just be a book page. And now I've got that LineDotArrow piece that I had printed. See if I can find it. I printed that one with the hearts and the spades or something. Where'd you put it, girl? I don't think I used it. Pretty sure I didn't use it. It must be in the LineDotArrow package. That must be where it is. Maybe it's in here. Ooh, so much in there. Okay. I'm just trying to get a background that will match that kind of, sort of. I have this bigger somewhere. I don't see it though. Okay. Yeah, it's floating around here. I know it is. I just don't know where I stuck it. Getting too much stuff. This might be a fun tuck-in. Like that postcard. It matches, I think, that well. Too big, too big. Got some tea bags. What's this? It's half of that and half of another. I'm not sure what I was planning on that for. Something at one point. A rabbit. Yeah, these are all like halves. They're not like the whole thing. Because I had some sort of weird plan for them. I don't know what. I don't remember. Also a half. I have a Cheshire cat. It's too big. Yeah, way too big. All right. I'm running out of options here. I like the tea bags, but they're not a whole image. I don't even see the other half of the image. I guess I didn't print them. Or I used them for something else. Probably used them. I could do just a half of that. This is like the teacups. Does it look terrible together? Or I could just put lines. Tweedledee and Tweedledum, but they're very faint. Didn't print out very well. I don't know where that paper is. It's here. It's gotta be here. There it is. Let's see. Is it big enough? Nope. It is not. Possibly turn it that way. And then do that. I might can make that work. So think I can do that. It's like, it's not really the intended purpose of it, but that's okay. I do that a lot. I use other things for other reasons. Just trying to get this mess out of my way. Get too crowded, I can't work. Y'all like that? When I start getting too much stuff around, I can't function. All right, we're gonna cut this out and use part of it. I'm just gonna keep that attached so I know what it is. Not that I don't know what it is, but just so. All right, so we're gonna use this. So the bigger piece of it. I'm trying to see where it cuts off. And go this way. Yeah, I think I can do that. I'll pull that envelope out so I can work with it easier. But I'm just trying to get a size. So approximately, where's my white? Approximately there. Let's pull it out. So you go in here. Right, we're going to set that up there out of the way. Throw these back in here. Throw these back in here. I don't know how I'm going to glue that tea bag on though. Ideally, I would use like a collage medium. I got to remember which side I'm doing. Yeah, this isn't showing. Just these two. This hasn't been glued yet because I took it apart. So, set that there. I'm never going to get this back together. So, I think we'll put the tea bag on this side. I'm just debating if I need to seal that first. I think it'll be okay. It's got this little lip on it, see? So I'm just going to glue that together, I think. I usually will put something on the edge so it's cleaner. So I'll glue this last because I don't want to, I'm debating if this needs a notch. I don't think it does. This I'm going to probably leave. It's very pretty. It's embossed. But this is not pretty, so we're going to clean it up. I think it'll work. All right, I'm going to cut that where that little line is. See, we don't have the dotted line on there. Keep that for something maybe. And we're going to glue this. Don't want to come over the edge. Maybe just a little. I don't know. It's so difficult. I don't think I'll come over the edge too much. I'm just going to trim it. All right, so this can go approximately here. I'm just going to get close. And now we'll figure it out. I probably should do a straight line on that. That edge is going to be harder for me to cut. I have stuff everywhere, guys. What time is it? Ooh, I'm running in too late. Getting late already. All right, let's try to get this on a straight edge. Somewhat. Doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, but I'd like it to be straight. All right, got our thing. Hope that's long enough. I think it is. It's long enough. Just barely. Okay, so that's going to go there. Yep. All right, we'll trim this after. I think it'll be all right. I think I need to darken that with something. Maybe I could probably piece some together. What do you think? No? Maybe no. It's going to show through a little bit. I don't want the white envelope to show through. How much more did I have? Let me find another piece, guys. It doesn't have to be exactly that, but it has to be something not dark like that. Some of this. That might work. What does that look like? Oh, he's really dark now. It's too dark. Maybe I should just put like a coffee dyed paper on top where the rabbit is. Pull this over a little bit. I guess I could just leave the white. Yeah, let's do that. We'll put it right there. So it's a lot of thinking, guys. Too much thinking. All right, we need to cut this here. Let's try that again. Somewhat straight. I think it'll work. Does that look straight? Kind of, sort of. Okay. Okay. All right, let's just see if it fits. I just want the rabbit to, where's my fold? The rabbit to show. Okay, that's good. Let's glue this on. This is a interesting project, huh? It's called Winging It As You Go. Don't drop it. I want to make sure I'm not hitting that too much. And then we'll get in there. Just make sure I've got that edge. All right, let's trim that. I know it's probably still wet, but oh well. Let's try to get this nice and straight. Okay. And then we'll put this over this. I'm debating if I want to fold it or just trim it. I think I'll trim it. I'll leave that black line there though. Alright, so how am I going to do this? Because I can't use this glue. This glue is never going to work. I'm going to go ahead and close this though, I think. I wasn't going to, but I think I will because it's going to, I think it'll be a problem if I don't. I'm going to close this tab. To lay down. And then I guess I'll use PVA because I don't want to use this art glitter. It'll show through horribly. Where is my pen? Oh, there it is. Okay, there. I'm really running late. Okay. I really wanted to get the stickers cut up and in there. Not happening, is it? Let's get you out of the way. PVA glue, where are you hiding? There you are. I think I can do it with this. I could also use... I might use my stick. I don't know what I used the last time, but I think I'm going to just use my stick, guys. Alright, so how far over? Oops, wrong way. Yeah, that way. So, I probably will do the tea bag. It's a little bit risky, but this is relatively strong. Let's just try the glue stick, because I think that's my best bet. Let's make sure I'm on the right side. Where's my glue stick? Alright, we're going to try the glue stick, guys. If I can get it on here without destroying it. If I destroy it, then I got to start over. I think the PVA is just going to be super messy. Let's see if I can peel this off without destroying it. What do you think? Does it come off? I should have done it on plastic instead of paper. Don't glue on paper. It sticks too much. All right. Do I have any plastic? I was going to glue before I get my plastic. All right, we're going to try to get this lined up. Let's see if it works. Think about there. My fingers are sticky. All right, clean my fingers off with something. There's a wipe. Okay. All right. It's sticky. It's very sticky. I don't want to go around the edge though, because I don't want it on this side. So I'm just going to trim that. I'm going to let it dry a minute. I might take the blow dryer to it or something. Try not to destroy that. Let me find something else. Where's that plastic? I'll use that. I don't want to risk running something over it and it tearing. Okay. Feel good? I feel secure. Okay. So, let's see. You can cut that without... probably not. Let me see if it'll cut. Probably won't. Will it or won't it? It's very wet still. All right. This one might be a little bit harder edge. Could possibly go inside on that one. I was going to cover the inside anyway, honestly. I'll just go inside. I'm just going to throw a little bit of art glitter. And just fold that around that edge. There. Okay. How's that? Cute. That works. It needs to dry ideally before it's stuck together though, because it's still going to be wet for a minute. It's not like art glitter. It takes a little longer to dry. But that'll be good for putting the stickers in. And then I might decorate the edge with something a little bit in the inside. I want the inside. If this wasn't tore, it would be okay, I think. But since it is tore, I think I'll put something in there. I know I saw some papers. This, what is this? Roses? That might work. It's got the fold right there. I don't think it's wide enough the other direction. Is it? No, not wide enough that direction. So I either put it sideways or wait, what about this one? Is this one wide enough? Okay, we'll put this one. That way I can go the right direction for the clubs. so let's put this there. And I want it to be cut right before that fold. But I also want to be able to slip it in there nice and easy. I'm hoping I don't have to fight with it. Sometimes it can be tricky. I think I will try to cut it right here. Now typically, at least 1/8 of an inch of this will be hidden inside the signature when it's sewed in. So I shouldn't see it if it's a little off. Is this square? What do you think the chances are that's square? It is. Amazing. Amazing. Close enough. All right. So I'm going to stick this here, and I'll trim it after. And they're even. It's never going to happen. I'm going to try it. At least it's open. If this side were closed, it would really be tricky. But since it's open, I don't think I'm going to use that. I think I'll go with the art glitter, even though it's a little risky. I'm going to go with it. Just got to hope I get it before it touches. That's the trick, is getting it in the place before you touch it too much, because it'll start sticking. Sometimes I will try PVA instead and have more time, but I don't want it to be wet, so... And I don't think I needed glue at that top edge, but that's all right. All right, see if I can get it in there. Now, if I hadn't glued that side, I could have just done it, but I think it's okay. It's not so bad once you get that corner. There. All right, that worked fine. Pretty. Embossing looks good on it, too. See this embossing? Can you even see it in this camera? Oh, there it goes. See? The plastic's even embossed. And then that's our other side. All right, we're going to trim that a little bit. See the edge, hopefully. There, trim it from this side. Just tell there's... Can't tell what that is. It's hard to see. There's glue peeking through. Trying to have too much glue on there. I mean, logically it should cut in the same spot, but it probably doesn't. So we're just going to go for it and hope for the best. This is just an envelope that was just opened. I don't think I ever trimmed it, really. Close enough. All right, there. That works. That is fine. We're running out of time already. Okay, this goes like this. This goes like this. This. I don't know. This. I think that's my front. So I have no clue. No. I don't know, guys. I'm gonna have to go back and look at my video to tell what is going on there. Where's the rest of it? Oh, there it is. Alright, I know this is the front signature, so it's not that. So that's the front. I know this glue's on this page. I'm 100% sure of that. So that's the first page. But I feel like there was something there. Is it this? Yes. This was there, right? And then this is there. And this is there. Let me see where it's on the other side. Where is it? Where's the white page? Lost it. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Okay. Yes. Yes. I think I put it back together right. Okay. So that's going to go like that. And then I might just put some ink there in case it shows. I don't think it will, but... And then I'll probably tuck something inside. Well, I don't want it inside because I want that to be for my stickers. So I don't think I'll tuck anything there. I might put a pocket here though. So we'll just leave that in case I decide to do that. This is for the stickers, and all I'm going to do is cut them all out. I'm not going to do it on camera now because that would take me forever. So I'm just going to cut these out with their little labels. And they're just going to sit inside here. I just think it's the best way I can do it and keep them together and not just have it in a book form. So I didn't really want them in a book form. So we'll just cut them. I'll do a better job than that, but I'll just cut them all out and stick them in here. This will be the little sticker holder. I'm going to make them all kind of, you know, round and a little prettier shapes. And we'll just stick all the stickers in there. Okay, so I'm going to go through here and do all that with these. And then I'll have it together next live. I'm not going to do that on camera because that's too boring. And then we might put something on these corners or something. Maybe, you know, maybe one of these little mushrooms or something. I'll figure that out next live. All right, but in a nutshell, that is it. And we've got that. So if whoever gets it wants to put the stickers on there, they can. They don't have to, but they can. Or they can just enjoy it for, you know, what it is. Okay? So that is our live. I think that was enough. So put all this back together. Put this back together. Goes like that. And this goes like this. Alright, guys. Hopefully y'all enjoyed that and had fun with those little projects. And I will be back. Ooh, I don't know if I'm going to be back on Sunday, guys. Dave's having to work so much that we are kind of cherishing the few days he gets off. So I may or may not be. If I'm not, I'll just do what I did last time and post some sort of older video or something. But y'all just put up with me while he's finishing out this movie because it's just really long hours and you know, we need a little time together. So, but these 15-hour days, 7-day weeks have been killing us, and you know, money's great and all that, but sometimes you gotta have some time too. So, if not, I will see you guys on Wednesday. Okay, y'all take care. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, and I'll see you next time. All right, bye-bye.